Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the hangout. This playlist is just for you and only you guys. Uh, if you feel the need to talk about any subjects or anything to be discussed, go ahead and write it down in the description. Let's get started off by saying I'm Jose, the creator of the channel. Today's topic is grieving processing. There's different ways. According to grief.com, the 5 stages is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance are a part of the framework that makes up your learning to live with one's loss. It is pretty hard. Death can come in various ways. It's just painful. There's no discussion, or there's no way around it. Everybody has to go through it one way or another, or experience somebody that does. And unfortunately, this channel has suffered a great loss. As you know, I've been talking about Chaplin, my dog. I'm asking you guys for help to build or put together a video and send it to my Gmail, and I will be happy to use it if it has no copyright content. So we're going to actually go ahead and go into grief.com, and everything that I've talked about will be in the link. I tried to make this raw as possible. There will be some cuts and edits, some cuts to it if need be, like if there's too long of a pause, or if I have to write down everything. Because I go on the fly. I don't like... Honestly, that's why my videos suck. Because I don't like to write it down. So, things to help with loss. So if you're going through any type of loss right about now, your family member just passed, your friends, acquaintance that you were starting to be friends with, I'm gonna read some of the things. New 5-week online grief workshop with David Kessler. I hope he doesn't mind, but loss is a devastating thing. Having a hard time healing. Death of a loved one, illness, sudden death. What I'm going to do right now is switch it over to the screen record. I'll be right back. So, what I was just reading was loss is devastating. Having a hard time healing. Death of a loved one, illness, sudden death, suicides. So this guy, I'm assuming here, is having a grief workshop. I think that's already done and over. So this is the steps of grieving.
Hi, thanks for visiting this page on the 5 stages of grief. I would imagine some of you who are visiting are dealing with loss. Others of you may be professionals that work with people who are experiencing loss. For whatever reason brought you here, I'm glad you're here. I'm David Kessler, and I was privileged to work with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, the legendary Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who first identified the 5 stages in her groundbreaking book on death and dying. I was able to do 2 books with Elizabeth. The first one was Life Lessons. Elizabeth and I heard these incredible stories about what people learned when they were dying on their deathbeds. And we thought, wouldn't it be amazing to bring these stories to us while we could still have the time?
So if you want to learn more about that, you can go there. So this is pretty much what he was just explaining in his video right there. So the girl writes, I forget her name. What was her name? Kibler, Elizabeth. So denial is one of the first 5 stages of grief. It helps us to survive the loss. In this stage, the world becomes meaningless and overwhelming. Life makes no sense when we are in a state of shock or denial. We go numb. We wonder how can we go on. If we can go on, why should we go on? Why try to find a way to simply get through each day? So that's part of denial. If you're really interested in getting help to get over the loss of a loved one, pets, family members, whatever, I recommend this page. I've actually saw it and read it a couple times. Most people have this problem, is denial, anger, pretty much. Anger is a necessary stage of the healing process. Be willing to feel your anger, even though it may seem endless. The more you truly feel it, the more you begin to despite, and the more you will heal. Desperate. Wait, is it supposed to be desperate? I don't know. So I'm not really going to go reading through all this stuff. Bargaining. I don't really know what bargaining is. So let's go into this. Going back into time. Find the tumor sooner. Oh, okay. Like saying, I wish we could find it. We had found it. You know, that's normal. To me, that is very normal. Normal to feel that. Feel the sadness. Feel like you wish you could have done something sooner. Like, people was like, man, I wish I was there. I wish, why me? I could trade myself. I want, if she was alive, I could have traded something for her to stay alive, or him. It's kind of hard. If you want to talk about grievance, talk about something that's going into your life, I'm there. I would be there for you. This channel, somebody here on this playlist, on this video, in the comments section, the chat squad, they would help you. They would talk to you. We want everybody to be loving and kind to each other, especially in this realm of the playlist. Touchy. It's very touchy. Depression. Everybody falls into depression when it comes to somebody's death. Depression after a loss is too often seen as unnatural, a state to be fixed, something to snap out of. The first question to ask yourself is whether whether or not the situation you're in is actually depressing. The loss of a loved one is very depressing situation. The depression is normal and appropriate response. To not experience depression after a loved one dies is unusual. Some people just probably say, when I lost Chaplin, I cried. Some people probably thought in their head, but kept it to themselves, like, dude, that is just a dog. Why are you crying over a dumb dog? The thing is, you guys just seeing her for the very first time is normal. For me, I've already had Chaplin for 10.5+ years. She was 11. She was 11 years old, 11.5 when I got her. And, you know, her life is just beginning, and She was a stray pup when I got her. 10 years, that's a lot of memories. Acceptance. What we really need is to accept that person is dead. Accept him or her is dead. Let them go. Their spirits go. This is the part where you need guidance. This is the part where you need comfort. You don't need to hear, oh, you're a shitty, or you're a ish person. You blah blah. You know, nobody, they're already down at this point. They're looking for somebody to help them to accept that this is, I'm sorry, it's getting to me a little bit. They have to accept, you know where I'm trying to get at. This is the part where people want help to figure out, it's okay, I'm helping you accept. So that's pretty much. So acceptance is where our loved one is new norm. At first, many people want to maintain life as it was before a loved one died. In time, through bits and pieces of acceptance, however, we see that we cannot maintain the past intact. It has been forever changed, and we must readjust. That's tough, though. Like, you live with somebody, say for instance, your grandma, your dad, your mom, you live for that person, and you're young, getting into this world. Say this, you live with your parents, whoever, for 40 years, 60 years, you in and out of their life, but they're still your loved ones. Say your mom and dad is going to hit you harder than your grandma that lives in California and you live in New York. You only get to see like 3 or 4 times a year. You know. But I'm going to head and show you my face again. So this might sound a little bit too personal. I want to ask, how do you deal with death? How do you deal of losing someone? Is it too painful? Is it pushing you over the edge? I've seen like that article. I've seen people try to accept it and live like the person was still alive, which can have its mental drawbacks. It's, as some people would say, that's unhealthy living. I have no room to say if that's healthy or not, because I don't understand most of that grieving process. I go off of how I feel. Living normal is fine. It's just the processing in your brain, like how am I supposed to go see this person, or how is this gonna work? How am I gonna make this work? With a dog, yeah, I can always get a new dog. Yay, hey, look, I got a new dog. Hey. But there's other happiness through family, through friends, acquaintances. But I really would love for you guys to chat down below talk about it, see how you guys feel. And if you are willing to put in the chat box any stories or any topics that you want to talk about for the next video, I'll be happy to do it. I try to stay out of drama just a little bit, because I don't want my channel to fall into the drama category or anything. You know, I just want to keep it simple and clean and stay out of drama. But if you want to talk about Fusive, Roman, Tanner, and the hot topic that is talked about frequently is Jake Paul. We'll talk about him too. I just don't know too much about that dude. I have to find some stories to talk about. But anything that I discuss will be anything like say if I get it from People magazine, their link will be in the description down below. But like always, if you have any major feelings or anything that can potentially harm yourself, call 911 or 30 in Pennsylvania it's called, I think it's called 302ing yourself, admit yourself to the hospital, or go on a vacation, go somewhere that you've never been to, set a new experience for your time being. Find your security zone, your comfort zone. Alright, well, we'll see you next time in the next video. Peace, love, stay true, and be happy.